Alright, question number 16 of quiz 4. This is the last question on this quiz. Somehow this is also one of the pull down questions. So let me read the setup. The current market price for good X is below the equilibrium price. And then the demand curve for X shifts rightward. What is the likely outcome of this demand shift? So I believe that the best way to solve an economic question, probably for other fields as well. But since we are studying economics here, so I'm just using this economic question as an example. I believe that the best way to solve an economic question is by intuition, not by any other tools. But that doesn't mean that you can imagine whatever you think it's reasonable and use that as your intuition. A good intuition must be built on correct logic and a lot of practice. So in this case, without drawing any chart, you can answer this question. So how can you do that? Read the setup. If the price is below the equilibrium price, what's that? If the price is below the equilibrium price, that means if the demand equals the supply, and that's what the equilibrium price is defined. When the demand equals the supply, when the demand equals the supply, price has to be higher than the current price. So basically, this is the what? This is the price ceiling, which means somehow the price is set below the clearing price of the market. So if there's a price ceiling, what's the relative magnitude of demand versus supply? So if we have a price ceiling, and so the price is lower, so lower price makes the demand to be higher and makes the supply to be lower. Hence, with a price ceiling, the demand should exceed the supply. Hence, we have a shortage, right? The consumers would want more, but the producers are not willing to produce that amount, because by producing that, they are losing the profit. They are earning a negative profit. They are not willing to do that. But consumers, they want to buy more product, but there's no such not enough product on the market. Hence, demand exceeds supply. Hence, we have a shortage of demand. We have a shortage of product on the market. So that's the effect of price ceiling. So now let's look at then the demand curve for X shifts rightward. So if the demand curve shifts rightward, this basically is a positive demand shock. So originally we have a demand which is already higher than the supply, but now we have actually further increased the demand. So what should happen to the shortage? Obviously, the shortage will also further increase. So without doing any charting, any mathematical derivation, I already come up with the conclusion. Right? The shortage has to increase. So here I choose A. And let me check the answer first, and then later on I'm going to use the chart to confirm that's the right intuition, and obviously that's the right answer too. Check my answer. Your input is correct. So the answer is correct. That means our intuition is correct. But now let's use the chart to confirm why that's correct. So let me quickly draw this demand and supply curve. On this chart, the vertical axis is always price. So demand is downward sloping and supply is upward sloping. So here it says we have the price is below the equilibrium price. So the equilibrium price is right here. So E. So now the price, so the equilibrium price, let's say this is a P star. So let me make the E star here as the equilibrium. So the price, now the current price is P. So P is lower than P star, the clearing, market clearing price, and also the equilibrium price. So from this chart, you can see that the supply is right here, but demand is right here. So the demand exceeds the supply. So now what happens to the demand? So the setup says that we have a positive. The demand shifts rightward. So the new demand is right here. So you can see that the shortage widens, right? So this is the D, and so let me use a lowercase d, and this is a lowercase s. So this is D and this is the D prime. And from this chart, it's easy to see that D prime is going up. Hence, the shortage, which is the difference between the D, demand, and the supply, is going up. So this chart confirms our intuition is correct.